Hey guys, Joe here, and today we are taking a look at a bunch of parts that make up one of the nicest Wilson Combat 1911s I've ever taken a look at. So how about you wait through the intro, come back, and we will take a look at the pistol together. Thanks for checking out the video. If you guys like this kind of stuff, maybe consider getting subscribed down below. Use my Amazon affiliate link, as well as starting at the end of the month, I'm going to do my Patreon early release schedule, which will be for a $3 donation per month. You will get 3-day ad-free early access to my videos. So keep an eye out for that. The reason this gun was all taken apart when I first started this video is because my memory card just pooped itself. So yes, when I get any kind of donations or AdSense to the channel, it goes into upgrading my equipment, and now I have to buy new video cards or memory cards. So yay! Let's take a look at what we have here. This is the Wilson Combat EDC X9L. Go ahead and open it up and we'll do a safety check. Nothing in it, nothing in it. I just literally put it back together, so there shouldn't be anything in it. We can go ahead and set that down. This is a 9mm pistol. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the bag. You get a nice canvas bag. This particular one has both the extended mags and the standard mags. We'll be taking a look at that. You get all your information inside, your manuals, all that good stuff, as well as a very nice carry bag. Let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room so that the elephant can get up and go away. This gun is in the $3,000 range. Sometimes you can get it for less, sometimes you pay more, but it's in the $3,000 range. It's a very expensive pistol because this is an enthusiast grade collector style pistol. It's also carryable, and when you start comparing fully decked out Glocks, Agency Arms, Zev, and Colt competition pistols and all that stuff, you'll find that it's actually in the same kind of ballpark. Granted, I'll never have the money to buy one of these, but it's nice to see that the community is catering to that high-end collector. This is chambered in 9x19, 9mm, and it is a double stack configuration. This one comes with both 15 and 18 rounders. This gun, the best way I can think of to describe it is if John Moses Browning had continued to develop the 1911 instead of moving on to the high power, because it has a lot of high power-ish stuff, yet it eliminates many of the quirks that the high power has. So it has a lot of the 1911 simplicity without the high power complexity. First thing you'll notice, this gun does not have a grip safety, kind of like a high power. This gun also has an external extractor, kind of like a high power. However, it has traditional 1911 safety, slide lock, slide release, and a traditional 1911 trigger. All those go together to make a pretty damn cool pistol that eliminates a lot of the issues that many shooters have with the 1911 platform. Oh, why do I have to grab a grip safety? Oh, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? So this actually eliminates a lot of that. So if you're looking for a pistol that is more like a high power, yet still a 1911, this may do you. As you can see, it's very nicely finished. It's an alloy frame with a steel slide, and again, it is a double stack. There's the 15 rounder, there's the 18 rounder. So that's 18 rounds in a very nice package. This is probably about the same size as a full-size P320 from Sig Sauer, and it carries almost the same number of rounds, which is pretty dang impressive, and it gives you your 1911 platform. This is a 5-inch barreled version. The original one that came out 3 years ago, the original X9, was a commander length or commander-ish length. It was actually smaller than a commander size pistol, and it was a 4-inch barrel. This has other things like the really nice accessory rail, which is always good to have because then you can mount lights, lasers, all that good stuff. It has an enlarged trigger guard window, so for gloved hands you can easily get your finger in the trigger guard. It has an undercut, which is very nice because then you can get up higher, which in combination with the fact that it doesn't have a grip safety means you can get higher on the pistol. You can see, again, I wish I had another 1911 just sitting here, but you can grip this pistol higher than you can a standard 1911, which is nice. The outside is very Wilson Combat. You have what's called their X-Tac design language with these cross patterns for your slide grip panels as well as your panels on the gun itself. Being an alloy frame, and a wider frame, they went with plastic grips that are much narrower than standard. It also allows them to put nice checkering on the front and the back. Very good grip. They've also flat topped the slide as well as put angle cuts on the side of the slide to both reduce weight and give it a distinct look. The striations on the top of the barrel are to help reduce glare in high light situations, sun coming directly down and whatnot. It has a high visibility fiber optic front sight and a fully adjustable rear sight. You will also see that it is completely blacked out in the rear. Even the back of the slide is checkered or striationed in order to help reduce glare, and the picture is super easy to pick up. From pictures I've seen, I think the front sight is actually bigger on the shorter length one. This one is actually a pretty reduced dot. Being that it's a newer pistol, they might have taken feedback from consumers and made the front sight a little bit smaller to make picture acquisition faster for some people. It also helps not cover an entire target if the target is smaller. Some of the design language, like the buffer tube for the spring, is squared off versus rounded, which is kind of a cool touch, and the shape of the slide lock is slightly different, as well as the cuts in the slide for both the slide lock and the takedown. Hammer is skeletonized with an adjustable trigger. Being a 1911, you get a really nice trigger. This one is just as nice as the Sig Nightmare we looked at. It's probably in the same weight range. So let's see here. Yeah, no pressure at all. Reset. Very short, probably shorter than the Sig. However, you hear it, but you don't feel it as much as the Sig. So the spring for the trigger is probably a little bit lighter. The kickback for the reset is just dink, almost nothing, and then straight into the next shot. And being adjustable, you can adjust how far the trigger goes. Very nice mag release, and these magazines, of course, are 100% drop free. They actually come flying out of the pistol. I personally like the way the 18 rounder fits. Because of the optional magwell, the 18 rounder fits very nicely. The 15 rounder fits flush with the front of the mag. So that works. Let's go ahead and take it apart, shall we? Just like any 1911, what I like to do is, number one, let's safety check it. So bring it back, check, check. Drop your slide. Don't drop the hammer, just engage your safety. That will allow you to push down on the front of the slide without it moving down the frame. This one is soft enough that I can actually disassemble it without a bushing tool. If you need a bushing tool, they're cheap. You can get those anywhere. Go ahead and slide it out, being very careful not to let the plunger go. It's a half-length guide rail, so the spring is under full tension in there. Go ahead and take it out. Always pay attention to which end is open. Once you've done that, go ahead and swing this over to the other side, but don't take it out. Somebody did point that out. Typically, I'll swing it over and take it out just so I don't forget to, but it does create an issue where sometimes it can cause the barrel to move around inside the slide and give you issues when you're taking the slide off. Go ahead and drop your safety. Bring the slide back to the takedown notch and push your slide lock slide release out. Pull it straight out so you don't scratch it. This being a double stack is wider here, so you're going to definitely scratch it if you don't pay attention. Once you do that, I like to flip the gun upside down and just take the slide off the frame. Once you've done that, you can take your barrel bushing out, take your guide rod out, and drop your link, slide your barrel out. This guide rod has an extra bushing on here. It can change how much tension the recoil spring is under. If this was out, it would be a lighter spring because the spring would be traveling farther. In its state with that bushing, it's compressed more, so it's actually firmer to start. Taking a look at the slide, very well finished. Series 70 style internals, so no drop safety on this one, so you literally only have the external safety, which is fine. Because of the way they designed the top of the slide, the front sight is very much like a Glock. It's actually screwed in, so you have a hole there to access with a very thin screwdriver to get in there. It looks like it's Allen keyed, and then you can change out the front sight, which is nice. Makes it easy if you decide you want a different sight, a fixed blade, night sights, tritium sights, whatever. You can change that out pretty easily. I'm sure Wilson makes other options for you. Otherwise, very nicely finished. as a $3,000 pistol should be. Sorry, it's hard for me to say that. It's quite a number. Looking at the frame, again, it's an alloy frame, so it is lighter, but very nicely finished as well. No marks inside. This is technically a used pistol, but I don't think it's ever been fired. There's no wear at all inside of it. You can go ahead and contact the store, Liberty Arms. Just Google it, Harrisonburg, Virginia, and see if it's still available at the time of the video's upload. Taking a look at the barrel, this is a hand-fit match grade barrel. Because it's a 9mm, it's kind of a bull-ish barrel because it has so much material. It is rated for plus P or higher grain loads. Few reviewers that have tested this have said 124, 147 works no problem. All the variations of ammunition work no problem. And a big part of that has to do with this ramped barrel. A lot of 9mm particular 1911s do not have a ramped barrel. Typically, the ramping is only in the frame, but this being a different style, they actually put the ramping in the barrel to go all the way back and meet up with the magazine. So a hollow point should feed a lot smoother. That's it. That's your Field Strip 1911. What do you say we put it back together? Okay. Take your slide, take your barrel, put your swinging link in the down position, slide it back through the front of the gun. It will lock up with the lugs. Take your barrel bushing, insert that, and then make sure to flip it over to the other position so you can get the spring in there more easily. Once you've done that, you can take your guide rod. You will have to make sure that these two pieces are lined up so that it sits flush on top of the, or on the bottom side of the barrel, as it is in this position. Get them in there like that. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put the spring in. Again, closed end down. This just helps me hold the guide rod in position as I'm putting the gun back together. Since we're doing it this way, just go ahead and put your link in the up position as much as you can. Take your frame upside down and start it. Because this gun is so well put together, it goes together like butter on hot toast. Come back until you have your swinging link in the down position inside your lined up hole there. There we go. Take your slide lock, start it, and then you're going to need to bring the slide to the reassembly position, which is right about there. And this is the difficult part because this is a double stack. You need to clear that lip. So you're going to pull it almost all the way out, set it back down over so there's no chance of the idiot marks, and just push it through. This thing is so nicely put together that it goes together like a really, really good Lego set. Go ahead and push your slide back forward, re-engage your safety. That way you can put your barrel bushing back in. Excuse me, your plunger, not your barrel bushing. Go ahead and start that in there, slide your barrel over, and there you go. Once you've done that, disengage your safety, cycle it, and make sure you're good to go. So that is the Wilson Combat EDC X9L. Beautiful pistol. I thought the SIG was the nicest one I've put my hands on. This is probably the nicest 1911 I've ever put my hands on. Granted, this is a 9mm, so you do have to consider that. In a 45, I still think the Nightmare is probably the best one I've touched. I've never put my hands on one of these in 45. I'd really like to. If you like that video, consider getting subscribed down below because you're going to get videos every week on firearms and tech as well. You're also going to be able to go to Liberty Arms, Google it, so that I don't get demonetized, in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and you can put in an order for these. You can ask them to keep their eyes open. With the current situation for distributors and manufacturers, gun supplies are low. They are working on it, so call the store, let them know what you're looking for, and we'll find it for you. Otherwise, that's it. It's a gorgeous piece. If you can afford it, get it. If you're the kind of person that doesn't mind spending good money for a good gun, it's a good gun. If you want to be frugal, go with something cheaper. That's all I can say. I'm out of here. Leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up, and as always, I'll talk to you later.